Hello everyone and welcome back to Katie's Bookshelf. It's been a very long while, very long while, months and months in fact. I've got a big backlog of books to chat to you about. I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to do videos for them, if I'm honest. It's been so long that I'm not sure I remember enough to talk to you about them, so we'll see. But I'm going to start with this video with two books of my most recent ones, and those are these. So we've got The Hike by Lucy Clarke, and then also Cuckoo by Sophie Draper. So I've got those two books to chat to you about today. A little bit about them. I won't reveal any kind of spoilers or anything in there, so don't worry. And that's it. I'll have a little chat about those. It'd be nice to hear what you think if you've read them, so add any comments below about your thoughts. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so The Hike by Lucy Clarke is the first book that I read, and I saw this come out and I thought it looks like something I'd read. And I also, a couple of years ago, I read another book by Lucy Clarke and I really enjoyed it, and I've got a copy of that here. So The Castaway. So I read that a couple of years ago and I really enjoyed that, and I know I did because it was so long ago and I still actually remember quite a bit about it. I think I remember seeing that there's a series of this just come out on TV. I think it might be on like some sort of Sky channel. Let me know in the comments if you've watched it and where you've watched it, because if it's any good I'll try and like hunt it down to watch. I think it's got Sheridan Smith in it, I think. I can't remember, but yeah. So I really enjoyed that, so I thought yes, I'll give this one a go. I'll read the synopsis for you. The perfect day for a hike. Seeking the escape of a lifetime, four friends hike out into the beautiful Norwegian wild. Nothing between them and the mountain peak but forest, sea and sharp blue sky. The perfect place to disappear. But there's a darker side to the wilderness. A woman went missing here 1 year ago. Now the friends are hiking into the heart of the mystery, and waiting on the trail is someone who'd do anything to keep their secrets buried. So it is a thriller, and I had high hopes for it because I really enjoyed, and I was quite kind of shocked by this one. So I was kind of expecting similar things from this, and I did enjoy it. I think if I had to say between the two, I'd most probably, I think I enjoyed how this one kind of gripped me and shocked me more. This one not so much, but I prefer the setting and the theme of this book. Yeah, I'd say that was fair. So this is based on four friends, and they get together and they have a trip away every so often, and you've got Liz, Maggie, Joni and Helena. I had to write them down because I have to forget. And it focuses mainly on Liz, so it starts with her, and she is a doctor, and she's having problems in her marriage. And that very first chapter, I always look at everything in such minute detail, but especially when it's a thriller, because I'm always looking at clues and things as I read it through. So I was looking at everything in minute detail, and it allowed you to do that, so you read in between the lines on every little thing that happens, and that does kind of link in and make sense as you go further in the book and you find other secrets and things are revealed. So you've got these four friends, and there's obviously a history. They've been friends since they were at high school, I think. So they've got a history together, and obviously there's secrets and things that happen. So those are things that come out and you discover as the story goes along. You've obviously got Liz and her marriage, and then you've got all the other friends have got their own little secrets, or issues or things going on in their life, as everyone does. They've all got their own things, so each friend brings their own baggage with them as well. So they go off on this trip, and they've got this hike on this mountain to do. So the mountain trip that they go to, it's a big hike. It's not something that you just whack your trainers on and go and do. It's something that would require training. It's a dangerous trip to take. So along with their friendship issues, you've got this threat of nature and the adventure they're about to go on, and should they go on it, and so you've got this constant feeling of danger. Then on top of that, you've then got stories of a girl who went missing on the same mountain the previous year, and you've got different characters then that you come across in the resort, in their base, their hotel, I think it is, that they stay in. So you've got all these different characters, and so constantly I'm reading, I'm thinking, oh, okay, so is it something to do with you? And there's all these things happening as well, and obviously those are revealed as they go along as well. So there's lots of things in there to keep you interested, and I think I did kind of I suspect everyone, as I'm reading, I'm like, oh, it could be you, it could be you. So I'm suspecting all these people, and I did work out who it was before it was revealed. But there are secrets in there that shocked me, that surprised me as well. So that was really good. I love it. I like being able to work out a little bit, but I like being shocked and surprised by things. So I did enjoy this book, and I would definitely recommend it for a read. I'd say this one I think shocked me when I was reading it. This one not so much, but there are points in the story where there's a threat or a danger, and you do get taken and made to feel as if you're there. So there are points in the book where I had that feeling, and I think the most powerful feeling actually, which surprised me, and it's quite near the start, was when Maggie has got a young daughter, and I don't think she's left her before to go away on the trip, and she's leaving her with her daughter's father, who they're not together, and I don't think they've got a very close relationship. So she was really, really anxious about leaving her for the first time and leaving her with someone that she didn't have 100% faith in. And that was the bit that really got me, having to leave her child, and then obviously on the trip you've got this constant threat that something could happen. So it's then, oh, what if something happens to her and her daughter gets left? So that, I think, that was a bit that really kind of like got me, which surprised me. But I don't know, that's what happens, I suppose, when you're a parent. So that was my first book. So let me know in the comments if you've read it, whether you've read The Castaways and what you thought of them, and if you've watched this, let me know what you think, because I'd be really interested to know if it's worth watching or tracking down. Okay, my next book is Cuckoo by Sophie Draper. Now, I've seen this one. This was a charity shop buy, and I've seen it in quite a few shops. In fact, we went on holiday last week, and in the holiday cottage that we were in, there was a copy of this in the property as well. Unfortunately, they didn't have a copy of this, which is what Mr. Katie's bookshelf wanted to read, and I forgot to take with me. So yeah, there was another copy of this, and I've had a few people message me about it. So I think there's quite a few. I don't even know when it was published. I will have a look and check. Okay, 2018. So it's not new. I'll read the synopsis for you. She's not your mother. When her stepmother dies unexpectedly, Caro returns to her childhood home in Derbyshire. Although she hadn't seen Elizabeth in years, the remote farmhouse offers refuge from a bad relationship and a chance to start again. But going through Elizabeth's belongings unearths memories for Caro that she would rather stay buried. In particular, a story her mother would taunt her with about two little girls and the terrible thing they do. As heavy snow traps Caro in the village, where her neighbours stare and whisper, she's forced to question why Elizabeth hated her so much and what she was hiding. But does Caro really want to uncover the truth? So I started this one maybe a month ago actually, I started it, and straight away I was hooked. There was something there that had me hooked, but I have to say, for the first third of the way through the book, I wasn't feeling it, and I wasn't really enjoying reading it. It wasn't bad enough that I would give up, but I just wasn't connecting with the character, and I was losing my patience a little bit with some of the things. So basically it starts with Caro at the funeral, and you can see there's some sort of tension and history when she meets her sister, who she hasn't seen for a long while. So you know there's a past, there's a history, there's something that's happened. And so she moves from London into the property so that she can clear through her stepmother's things. And when she's there, strange things start happening, and there's a hint of like spookiness or some like haunting or something. And I think that's the bit I didn't really have much patience with that. And I normally, you know, I quite happily read like horror things and supernatural things, but I just wasn't feeling it with this book. So I was kind of losing my patience there. But I think some of it was that there was almost the thought that Caro was kind of losing her mind a little bit, and there was that hint that she was kind of, whether she was making it up or whether it was real. And I think it just felt a bit chaotic, and it lost me a bit. I mean, I kept track of the story, but I was just getting impatient with it, I think. And then I think it was just about a third of the way through the book, there's like a reveal, something's revealed, and things start to slot a little bit more into place. And at that point, I connected with the story, and it was fine. I was kind of enjoying it more. And that was, I think, when we went away. So I'd read maybe up to about a third before we'd gone away on holiday, and then I carried on. I persevered. I had the time just to sit. And then I reached that point, and then I was happy to read, and I was hooked in, and I was whizzing through. I'd say it was quite predictable in places, so I kind of guessed quite early on who it was in the story, but there was lots of things happened. And it didn't spoil it. The fact, obviously, I didn't know until I got to the end that I was right. But there were lots of things happening. So there were lots of twists and reveals and different things that happened. So there was plenty to keep me interested all the way through. So I definitely recommend it. So even though I've said I didn't connect and I didn't enjoy the first third of it, I definitely say, you know, give it a read, give it a try. I haven't read loads of stories that are set in the Peak District as well. So I really liked where it was set. So yeah, so I enjoyed the setting of the book, and there's quite a few points in it where there's links to stories like Wuthering Heights. I think it actually refers to a character from Wuthering Heights in there, if I remember rightly. But yeah, there's odd little points where there's a really nice description of the setting, and it really kind of goes into detail and takes you there. And I enjoyed those parts of the book as well. So yeah, there we go. So let me know if you've read it. Let me know if you enjoyed it, whether you think the same, whether you worked out who it was. I will not reveal to you who it is, but yeah, let me know what you thought. So a short but sweet video, at least it's a video rather than none at all. At the moment, I'm reading an autobiography, Dave Grohl's autobiography. I'm a chapter in so far and I'm enjoying that. So I don't read many autobiographies, but I bought this one from Mr. Katie's bookshelf, and I bought it ages ago actually, and he's just never got around to reading it. And I don't like to read someone else's book before they've read it, but I could be waiting forever, and he was quite insistent that I read it if I wanted to. So yes, in the future. And it always depends. I'm a mood reader, so when I get to an end of a book, I see what I fancy reading, and sometimes I have in my head, oh, that's what I'm going to read, that's what I'm going to read, and then I get there and I completely change my mind. But these are the ones that I've got coming up. So this one I bought when I was away. We were in Cornwall last week. If you saw on Instagram, I shared some of the stories whilst I'm there. So yeah, if you don't already, go and check out my Instagram account, Katie's Bookshelf UK. And on there, I don't post loads, but I do try. I'm trying to keep up with it. But I do pop things in stories sometimes of where I'm about and what I'm up to. But we went on a National Trust visit, and in the bookshop, I found this one, The House of Helligan, and I'm going to give that one a try. And let's see, I've also got lots of times I get recommended a book, and I found it when I was out shopping a while ago. So I now have a copy of it again, because I did sell it when I had my bookshop, which is now closed, by the way, if I haven't already mentioned that. So The Salt Path, so that's one that I intend to read at some point. And then I've also got It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us, Colleen Hoover. So I've got those to read. I've only read one of her books before, Verity. I did a video on it. So yeah, so I'm not sure what this one's like. I enjoyed Verity, but I know that was a thriller, and this isn't a thriller, so I don't know. Yeah, let me know whether I should give those a try or not. And then Before the Coffee Gets Cold, so that's another book that I'll be reading at some point soon. So I'll see where my mood takes me when I get to the end of that one. But yeah, hopefully I'll be doing another video with some of these soon. And thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.